Wow, I see very clearly that you fit every description we've asked for in this job role. Yeah, and I live within like 20 minutes. Even better. The thing is, though, no. What? Yeah, no. Nope.
I go to college and make it so cool. I live in a dorm and show up at the pool. I turn the right foot, just a building impression. I block out thinking you won't get me ahead. My ambition in life is to look good on paper. All I want is a slot in some big corporation.
There was a job at, I think, at Expedia. It was like a media producer. And he went through the whole checklist of skills, like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? I'm like, yep, can do it. But then I didn't hear from him for like 2 weeks, so I called him back. I'll play you the cut here. Play.
Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm in the audio or video mixing using like a Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
So they did not find that experience in your resume. So that's the reason they have a shortlisted to your profile.
Well, you asked me if I had experience on that, I think, and I told you yes.
Yeah, but like the same thing I mentioned, but they just wanted to see in your resume. So you have not mentioned about that experience in your resume.
Okay. Well, can you tell them?
Sorry?
Can you tell them? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you notify them that I am experienced?
Yeah, I already emailed. But they have not like shortlisted your resume. They have rejected.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand that last part. Can you say it again?
I'm saying like they are just like reviewing the resume, and if they don't find the experience in that resume, they don't shortlist. They reject the profile.
Right.
They have that.
So can you tell them?
Already informed, but they told me like if someone is having, tell them to like mention in the resume.
So you told them that I was, and that they rejected me anyway because it's not in my resume?
Yeah.
Why would I put that on my resume not knowing when I haven't even applied for that job?
Right.
Like I mean, in other words, you're a recruiter, so you reached out to me based on whatever, qualifications you thought you saw in my resume, thinking that I was somehow maybe a fit for this job, which I was, and then you.
So other things also they have just like as per the job description, they didn't find resume is not suitable as per his like the expectation. They have like the more stronger profile, so they have like the proceed with that resume. There may be one of the reason, yeah.
Well, okay. Well, what other reasons are we talking about? There's plenty of items, including a 15-year accolade-laden career in which I, all but mastered audio editing and video as well. There's plenty of evidence. Are you serious? This guy just hung up on me? He's a headhunter, right? He reaches out to me, and I'm polite enough to talk to him, not really knowing who he is or what he does or who he's with. And we go through the whole thing. I signed this thing. All right, you want to represent me? Cool. This job sounded okay, good pay, whatever. And then he completely bungles it. He doesn't get back to me. He doesn't, whatever this hang up was with Expedia and what was or wasn't on my resume is irrelevant because he's asking me all these questions that he's supposed to take the answers from and funnel directly to. I mean, if there's going to be a middleman between job seeker and employer, it's supposed to streamline that process and sort of cut out some of the red tape. Did he screw that up, or did he just not push back hard enough, or what? I mean, really, they didn't. He told them specifically that I had this skill, I guess, that was a deal breaker for them. Tom's got the skill. He can do Premiere Pro, no problem. Yeah, but it's not on his resume. So, and given that he didn't apply to this, you kind of brought him here. The fact that he can't predict what's going to drop in his lap and then be ready with a resume that's customized for that. And then he just hangs up. Oh, anyway, I found him here. The email that he sent me to like sign on with him, or I was cleaning out my inbox. That one, I had that one saved somewhere, like my notes or something. Thought about sending him a note. Be like, yo, did you ever hear back from Expedia on that job? Just wondering. I've just been waiting for your call for the last 2 years. He's probably a nice guy, but he did kind of f up twice is the thing. Like, I guess he would have ghosted me had I not contacted him. So that's problem 1. And then he didn't do anything really on my behalf, or he didn't note what I told him down properly. I don't know, or he didn't get it to, or he didn't. I mean, if you're a headhunter, your job is not just to send off pieces of paper or documents. You got to do more than that. I mean, I can do that. You know, what do I need you for? Just to send off the same bullshit I'm going to send off. You know, you're supposed to be able to have some kind of inroads there. Like, if you're not going to do that, then what are we doing? To call it fakery or phony is giving it too much credit. The social component of it is so bizarre. There's a performative element to the social component. We're layering those on top of one another now, where you have to have like followers there on LinkedIn now just to get a job. What? Are employers actually looking at that kind of thing? They see just, that little silhouette of a head instead of my face or something. Are they going to be like, oh, well, this guy's horseshit. Can't hire him. Is that what happens? All right, let's see what we got here. Get hired with Andrew Seaman. Your big ideas for job searches and career. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I haven't looked at this guy's thing yet, but people actually make businesses out of saying things like, I firmly believe that being an early adopter of AI right now is a game changer for professionals over the next decade, wrote Carlos Gil, who is a global marketing leader and LinkedIn top voice. Those who overlook AI as a tool and complement to their work will be left behind. Yes, the people looking for new career paths could explore those in AI. There's a rising demand for AI consultants, creating a blue ocean of opportunity for those willing to step into that space. It doesn't feel like insight to me.
Nope. But you're hiring for the role, right? Oh, definitely. Yeah, I complain daily about how understaffed we are. Right. And I fit every qualification. You had just said that. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yep. But still the answer is no. Unfortunately, you're just not who we're looking for. Sorry. I wish you good luck, though.
AI consultants. But see, this guy here, whatever his name is, this whole consulting thing is what bugs me because it seems like such a put on. There was a guy when I used to work at ESPN. He actually helped us both at the network and locally here in Seattle, where I went later on. His name was Rick, and he was actually a really good guy. Like, I liked Rick a lot. He would come in maybe once or twice a year and kind of do like, I don't know, workshops with us or something. I did like him quite a bit. Did he ever stimulate thought and make me think about this or that? Yeah, I would say he did, sure. But the question isn't so much the effect that he might have in like one sort of passing moment with somebody like me who would, I'm kind of wired just to pay attention. Like, if you have somebody who walks in here trying to sell me, cardboard, I could probably find a way to get interested in that if I'm in the right mood. So you wouldn't have that problem with me, but like, how does somebody doing this thing here, how do you break in with your clientele to the extent that you convince them that you're needed? See, that was the thing with Rick. I don't know if he ever said it explicitly, but I always kind of just got this sense, it's just kind of what I pieced together, is that the presumption was that there was a hole or a flaw in our game, I guess, at the station or something. And I guess he could legitimately claim that because nobody's perfect. I mean, we're a radio host. I mean, how do you perfect that? So there's always like a way to point to something and say, oh, but you could do that. You should think about this. It's like, okay, fair enough. I could think about that. I know that the company is paying you a bundle to walk in here and tell me that, or shoot the breeze about it for a couple of minutes. I don't have any problem with somebody marching in and saying, hey, you should think about speaking slower. Okay.
People get nervous to pause in an interview thinking it's going to make them seem insecure or incompetent or less poised. But when you pause before you answer a question, it actually makes you sound more secure and more competent.
It's not really what I do, but if I thought about it, maybe there's a way to broaden my horizons or something. When he tries to sell himself to, say, my bosses, right? He says, hey, I'm Rick, and I see that I heard this guy Tom on the radio, and he can he could afford to speak slower, I think. I mean, what are they going to do? Write him a check right there on the spot and say, you know what, we need you. We're going to keep you on retainer. You have to turn that offering, I guess, into something that it really doesn't have to be, which is like some big like PowerPoint presentation or essay or a series of them or interviews. Like this guy's, he's got citations for this Carlos Gil fella who's the global marketing leader. And they're either taking out the trash or having a gunfight out there. I'm not sure which. But you need to make it seem like just common sense or, intuitively obvious points, insight. You need to make it seem as if that stuff is proprietary. And the way they seem to want to do it is by formalizing it, right? And it might be true, but there's these claims of shifting trends among, let's say, the tendencies of a.
What I'm hearing more and more often from recruiters is that cover letters is not what they are focusing on. It's not going to be the make or break for whether you get brought into an interview. So that is something I would probably have a little bit more template time.
Make sure that you are adding a cover letter. Make sure you're coming up with a really good, what we call career story.
Lead with your skills, not past titles. See, here's the other thing I've noticed of hiring manager culture. Like, what are they looking for in 2025? What are they looking for? Like, oh, we used to say do this, but now we're doing this. What is going on there? First of all, we're talking about people applying for jobs and people hiring people who are applying for jobs. This isn't that complicated. Pursuant to the job, onboarding, and then this, and then that. It's kind of their own fault for making all this stuff exclusively online and turning their pool of applicants into a global one. But that's good for them because it inflates their side of the fence, theirs, who's they, HR, right? Because it's like, oh, well, we got a global pool of applicants. We can't just leave it to Laura back there in the closet. We got to give her a whole team under her now and promote her to corporate. And then, okay. So these shifting trends, it's like, oh, yeah, well, in the past, we used to do cover letters, but that's just not good anymore. That's the old. We need to be thinking ahead. Okay, yes, things change. Why does this change? The incentive and the need and the goal, the destination on both sides remains precisely as it has for the past, 150 years, basically since the beginning of the industrial Western world. It's bad enough that you're already in a needle in a haystack enterprise if you're looking seriously for a job. If you're like, man, I need to get work now. Even just to find a job, let's say maybe you don't have the option of working remote. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Finding a job that your skills are a good match with, that's like problem one. Then there's the locale thing. And then there's the salary thing. And then there's the, oh yeah, well, we've moved away from that role. We've merged it with this other thing. So now you got to have this other skill and you've only got 8 of 10. So why are they shifting these trends all the time? Well, we look for this. We used to look for people who could come in and present themselves well, but now we're looking for people who don't fit the mold, who really think outside the box. Okay, well, I can do that. But then really what they're looking for is just like a different version of somebody who fits very comfortably within the box. You want outside the box. I mean, I can show up and look like this and that'll be outside the box. It's like they shift this stuff on purpose just so they can have something to claim authority over. Right, and for which they can then dispense to the public, or the job-seeking public, who will then have to reorient themselves around something that is completely meaningless and arbitrary and only serves the people who are selling you on the idea that you need them to help you through the process. Well, if the process itself is only being modified, or it's not actually being modified. You're just saying it is, but because you said it is and you're the consultant telling us, well, now we're all going to do that thing. And then the trend will have self-actualized And by the way, it's not like I need anybody to tell me that, but like I guess if you guys are in charge of just setting the trends, because to keep yourselves relevant, you need to make some new shit up. Whether I like it or not is going to be the thing. Well, now I guess I need you. The other thing is the attitude on here. All right, let's read through Andrew's thing here. Lead with your skills, not past type. Yeah, so now the resume. If you use what traditionally it's always, your name, your email, your phone number, all that shit. And then maybe I've got like 2 columns, awards, statistics, and some little charts of shit that I've accomplished. Hey, I brought the company growth before they killed me. But now we got to lead with the skills. That's what people are looking for. If the hiring managers are looking for that to the extent that they're going to rule people out who don't lead with their skills.
Applying strategically involves several steps. The first one starts with your resume. Targeting a resume to the job you're applying for is more important than ever. Having a resume that can help you stand out is paramount right now, right?
Yeah.
That's the first step. The second that I highly recommend people is to leverage this amazing platform that we have, that is LinkedIn. You need to connect with people. We need to make sure you get referrals, because right now sending blind applications to many companies is not gonna make it. And also,
Why? What reason would a hiring manager who sets that as criteria or sets that expectation, how could they have that expectation if nobody knows that? Other than these guys getting the message out. And why, by the way? Like, what difference would that make to them, whether I have skills up top or first or second? It's 1 and 2. It's not complicated. Like, it is communicating what needs to, the essence of what needs to be communicated. Yeah, it needs to be organized. It needs to, like, look readable. But it's like the more we comply with the demands, I guess, of of a given trend, or what seems more like a top-down edict, the more they either keep changing it or keep adding to it. I love when they say personalize it. Okay, I will do that as much as is reasonable. But if it's the case that I'm in a global pool of candidates, the number of jobs, let's say, that each applicant for a given job in that job openings pool is going to be inversely proportional to the number of applications that each one of those applicants sends out to other jobs. I've got this folder of application confirmations. I think I've showed this before. But these are, this is when you get the confirmation email that your application went through, like, hey, thanks for applying.
A lot of people think that there's this big bad computer sitting behind the application process. As of right now, there's not. The hiring manager does not want to consider anyone who doesn't have X experience. That's usually going to trigger an automatic denial. The hiring manager said, I'm not going to hire anyone without that. So it's wasting your time, their time. So that's usually when you get that automatic rejection. A lot of people think that there's this big bad computer sitting behind the application process. As of right now, there's not.
For a while, I saved those. I don't know. Maybe I saved half, 3/4. I don't know. I wasn't like religious about it. I was just doing it. I just got in the habit, but maybe I saved half. Let's say, there we go. 423. Those are just the ones I saved. So let's assume let's be generous. Let's say it's 3/4-ish. I can't even do the minute. So what did I not save? Maybe 423. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of applications. Now, I haven't had to do this in a while because eventually I got something, but like, Jesus. And so they expect like you're going to personalize each one of those. I mean, it's one thing to like type up a generic cover letter and then just replace the address line there. Okay. I'd love to work for Texaco because you guys have great gasoline. All right. But here's the thing. If it were the case that there was a human being or a team of them or something on the other end that were actually combing through those things and saying to themselves, like, oh, this is a really well written, thoughtful cover letter. Like, there's something in here I'm really connecting with or something. Like, something's jumping off the page to them. Fine. I'll sit there and take the time to do that, honestly. But if it's all going to be algorithmically sorted out before anybody's eyeballs to even get on it because I didn't use the same standardized keywords as everybody else, which runs directly in the face of the stand out, be unique, and get attention ethic. I mean, I'm not behind that. I'm not surprised to see this. Like, I know that this is what it's been or where it's been going. It's not. We say, oh well, yeah, it expedites. We're more efficient now. We can go directly. You can't because it requires so much more of your time just to register a presence somewhere. It's not easier than it used to be.
When it comes down to LinkedIn strategy, it comes down to really 3 things: update your profile, create content, and engage with others. Like, it's really that simple. And if there's like an overarching theme, it's like, don't overthink it.
I'm updating my hot list of October. Excellent candidates will be shared to top commenters. Oh my God. So what is this guy like? Keep track of people, comment on his posts? What does he do with them? Excellent candidates will be shared to top 500 comments. Those who make a good bonding, kindly drop your official contact details. So he's going to put people in contact with one another? It's so embarrassing. It's belittling. So what? I need to like spend the next 5 months just responding to this guy? This is what I'm talking about. It's like another 10 projects.
I have really tried hard to use fear as fuel. If you believe that you are worthy and operate like you're worthy, that really does help you with fear. It's mindset. Do you have a growth mindset? Are you able to say, I don't have to have all of the answers. I don't have to know everything. I'm going to continue to learn and grow and develop. And I do think that will position you for the next level of assignment.
I mean, again, I know I could probably just click on whatever and be luck into when somebody sees my resume and says, hey, great. But that's ridiculous. And you know what? It's not that I blame him. I mean, let's say I don't even know if that's his business doing that. Maybe it is. I mean, if he's doing it, I assume it means something to him. Like, it's hard to make a living out there. For any of the people who are actually doing this stuff, whether it's consulting or God bless you, honestly, like, I'd rather see you put food in your belly than not. But it would be nice if we didn't all have to like swallow and then, upchuck this fiction of any of this being A, necessary, B, something other than embarrassing. And I would say C, it's wading in the waters of being destructive, I would say, because it's actually, I mean, look, if people aren't getting jobs because the process is what it is and it favors this over that and people don't know it. They don't know what this person wants, what the shifting trends are going to be. They don't follow the right people. Like, what I just want to get a paycheck for shit's sake. It's ridiculous. If there's some societal trend, shift, social attitude that changes, like that's going to happen. Do not mistake the natural sort of evolution of something, culture, I guess, with this crap.
They'll say, I've applied to 1,000 positions over the past 2 months and I have received 0 calls. If you're applying to that many jobs in that short length of time, it means that you're probably sending out applications that are pretty generic.
Getting a job is something that people have done for, forever. It should not be harder. It is now. It's all, oh yeah, you go, girl. Even if it's a guy, it doesn't matter if you're a guy. What does it actually mean to have a purpose? Purpose gives you that greater motivation. What does it? Because there is reason behind it. If you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion. For your passion will lead you right into your passion. Did she just mistype that? Turn what lights you up into purpose. Create a hub that people can go to. Make money. The lesson I learned from getting fired from my first sales job. Generate retirement income. Generate with $1 million. Sounds like somebody's already been doing some generating there.
I don't think so much about the computer and think about the person behind.
Focus on the human on the other side, not the computer system.
The position that they hold, just choosing the HR profession, that entitles them to have that much control over people's lives. I guess of influence over people's lives that they're not entitled to. It's not like they're the high clerics of the Sanhedrin.
If you need a job, you might not get one. If you want to keep a job, you might not get to do that. Recruiters are watching. They HR is watching everywhere, and we hate you. We hate you so much. And you think we can't do anything, but we can. We have the power. Always remember that. It's run by women, and it's run by angry women just like me.
We have heard enough. Let him be taken before the procurator, in whose hands lies the final authority for trial and judgment.
It's not earned. I mean, yes, they have to evaluate resumes and make judgment calls, but to be presumptuous, their own sort of personal, shallow sensibilities to say, like, no, I'm not doing that. I was in it wasn't me, one-on-one conversation, but it was like me and maybe 2 or 3 other people. But I didn't even know that this guy was in charge of hiring. Maybe he had done hiring before, but I remember one time he said, this is about 2010. He said something like, I'll talk as him. Yeah, when I'm going through resumes, if I see a name on the resume like Stan, the older sounding name of older generation, Harold, he said, I throw that right out. It called to mind the image of somebody who would be that, would throw it right out. It sounds stupid. Like you might say, oh, well, not everybody's like, it's like there's a million of these people out there who are in positions where they have this kind of power. Not all of them could be thinking with such a discerning eye, scrutinous eye, where they're that thoughtful and they would, know how to categorize that kind of thing. Most people are not that way. And the more time goes on, the more we rely on AI to like generate all our shit, the less thoughtful we have to be. Well, then how do you think this other shit's going to turn out? Like, this is how insidious this stuff is. People don't think it means anything. It does. Make money from your purpose. There's always this language in there that presumes you have an audience. Here's how to grow your audience. Make sure to talk to your audience by saying X, Y, and Z. It's like, I don't have an audience. You're here to presumably to tell me how to not get one, but how to grow one, assuming that I have an audience, which I can treat a certain way. Make money from your purpose. What?
I go to college, that makes it so cool. I live in a dorm and show up at the pool. I join a ride club, system building impression. I block out thinking you won't get me ahead. My ambition in life is to look good on paper. All I want is a slot in some big corporation. Volusi's my hero, I left food in APM. My news of the world comes from Sports Illustrated. I'm proud of my trophies like my Incompetence. Like the nerves off the wall to impress all my friends. No, I'm not here to earn. I just want to get